We are so excited to debut our winter concert series right here on Great Day Live, sponsored by the James B. Beam Distilling Company and the Kitchen Table. Every month, we're going to be showcasing a rising Kentucky country music artist. First up is Boyd County native Cole Chaney. He burst onto the scene just 4 years ago, and now sky's the limit for the singer-songwriter.
Thank you.
Welcome to the kitchen table.
Thank you for having me.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
You're in Fred No's chair, like literally their table and their chair, and I've got Freddie's chair.
Yeah, thanks, Fred.
I can't thank you enough for being our first artist to open up this series. It's a special thing, so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you all so much for having me.
What do you think about everything happening to you? Like, a lot of people say you've had this meteoric rise. I mean, does it feel like, whoa, like this has only been a couple of years?
Man, honestly, when you're looking at it from the outside, you know, when I take a step back and look at you know, how far it's come from the very beginning, then yeah, you know, it feels like that. But when you're in it and you're busy all the time and, you know, just focused on getting to the next show, you really don't have time to think about it. So, and I try to just kind of stay eyes forward with the whole thing.
I love hearing about artists' background, and we wanted this to really focus on Kentucky singer-songwriters and, you know, men and women that are coming up onto the scene. I want to hear more about like your background in Boyd County.
Okay.
We did a whole show out in Ashland, and I mean, we loved it. And the people loved having us there. And there is such a sense of pride about being from Boyd County. I mean, talk about what life was like there growing up.
Oh, it was great. You know, I had a great childhood. Boyd County is a good place to grow up. It's far enough out to where you can get secluded if you need to be, but it's close enough to town to get somewhere, and you got a Walmart 15 minutes from you if you need to go to the store. But it was great, and like I said, there's a lot of county pride. Boyd County Lions. When I was in school, it was soccer team and baseball were really good, so stuff like that, you know.
Did music, like, did that happen in your household? Do you have brothers and sisters that played? Like, how did this all come about for you?
The only members of my direct family that are musicians are my stepfather, Scott Sword, and my grandmother, Charlene. She plays piano at Wolf Creek Baptist Church in Grayson, Kentucky.
Yeah.
But as far as traditional music goes, nobody really played that. That was something I kind of fell into on my own.
Wow. I love your philosophy. When I asked you, you know, what are you working on? How soon is it coming out? And your response is, when it's ready.
Yeah. That's
a really good approach to have, until it's ready.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe in pressuring yourself to get things done. Now I do think pressure, you know, people say pressure creates diamonds, and that is true to a certain extent. But I don't believe in deadlines, especially not from other people for my art. So, you know, I write when I feel like something needs to be written, and other than that, I just play and work on my skills as a musician.
Right. As a songwriter, do you have to be in a place that makes you feel? Is that location, that place important to your process, or can you are you one of those that can write anywhere?
Absolutely. No, I think that creation can take place anywhere that sparks creativity in a person. But for me, if I feel like I need to go write, then I want to be home, and I want to be in a place where I feel totally comfortable.
You know, you think about where you're from and your whole singer-songwriter approach and who you are as an artist. I mean, it has to cross your mind. Wow, country music highway. Chris Stapleton, Loretta Lynn, like, I mean, I get chills when I'm listening to you and I'm thinking of where you're from and who else is from there. I mean, how does that big picture register for you that what is in the water here?
A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. A lot to live up to. Big shoes to fill.
Well, we know you have a lot of events, a lot of concerts, a lot of performances coming up. What are you most looking forward to the next couple of months?
Well, I'm getting to play at the Grand Ole Opry at the National Wild Turkey Federation Convention, and I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to be very good. I'll be opening for John Anderson in Ashland at the Paramount on January 27th,
Yeah.
I believe, and that'll be a really good one. John Anderson's one of those guys for me. Is like he's up there. You know?
Any advice you'd give another songwriter out there, another artist that's like doing another job in your shoes just a couple of years ago, that's thinking about this is a tough business and a lot of intimidating people, and I think you are very true to you.
Yeah.
And that's very hard to be like that and continue to be like that in this particular business. What advice would you give that other person in your shoes, Cole at 19?
Yeah. You know, as cliche as it might sound, find yourself, find who you want to be as an artist, and do that.
Yeah.
Don't try to be anybody else, because you can't be anyone else. You have your own story that is unique to yourself. So tell that story. That's what people want to hear. You don't need to put anything else on. Just be honest about it.
Cole, thank you so much for being
Thank you.
the first artist in this series.
Yes,
Best
ma'am.
of luck.
Thank you all so much for having me.